Hello everyone, I am Osima Biswal. In last class, I have already discussed about the traditional society and the precondition of take-off Rostow'S stages of economic growth. In this class, I will discuss about the take-off stage. The take-off is a decisive stage in the evolution of any society. It is the period in which growth becomes a normal conditions of a society. The take-off process generally begins on account of some sharp stimulus which may come from political revolution, a technological innovation, or even favorable international environment. The expansion of different sectors transforms the structure of an economy which starts moving on the road to self-sustaining growth. According to Rostow, self-sustaining growth is take-off stage. He defines take-off stage as an interval during which the rate of investment increases in such a way that real output per capita rises, and this initial increase carries with itself radical changes in production techniques and the disposition of income flows, which perpetuates the new scale of investment and perpetuates thereby the rising trend in per capita output. Okay. At another place, Rostow characterized take-off as an industrial revolution tied directly to radical changes in methods of production having their decisive consequences over a relatively short period of time. He calls it as a great watershed in the life of modern societies. During take-off, obstacles and resistance to steady growth are overcome and forces of economic development expand and come to dominate the society. The take-off period is supposed to be very short, lasting for 2 to 3 decades. Okay, the take-off stage: first, the rate of investment; second, development of leading sector; A, primary growth sector; B, supplementary growth sector; C, derived growth sector; third, emergency of the new political, social and institutional framework. First, this is the conditions of take-off. First, I will discuss about the rate of investment. Conditions for take-off. Rostow has suggested the following 3 related conditions for making the growth process for self-sustained. A rise in the rate of productive investment from 5% to less to cover 10% of national income or net national product. Second, the development of one or more substantial manufacturing sector with a high rate of growth. Third, the existence or quick emergency of a political, social and institutional framework which exploits the impulses to expansion in modern sector and gives growth and outgoing character. First, I will discuss about the rate of investment. The self-sustained growth requires a high level of investment in an economy. Rostow has suggested that the rate of investment should be over 10% of national income if an economy is to enter the stage of self-propelling growth. The growth in the national output should outstrip the growth of population, because it is only under this condition that the growth in per capita income can be achieved. Okay, an adequate supply of loanable funds is essential for raising the rate of investment in an economy. These funds may come through the mobilization of domestic savings, through the import of capital for attaining adequate finance for take-off if it is necessary that A, the community surplus over consumption does not flow into the hands of those who will sterilize it by hoarding, luxury consumption or low productivity investment outlets. B, institution for providing cheap and adequate working capital be developed. C. One or more sectors of the economy must grow rapidly and the entrepreneurs in these sectors must plow back substantial portion of their profits to productive investment. D. Foreign capital can profitably be utilized for building of social and economic overheads. Development of leading sectors. Another conditions for take-up is the development of one or more leading sectors in an economy. Rostow regards the development of leading sector as the analytical bone structure of the stages of economic growth. There are generally three sectors of an economy: A. Primary growth sector, B. Supplementary growth sector, C. Derived growth sector. First, primary growth sector. According to Rostow, primary growth sector are those whose possibilities for innovation or the exploration of newly profitable avenues or hitherto unexplored resources yield a high growth rate and set in motion expansionary forces elsewhere in the economy. So sectors initiate and stimulate growth in other sectors till the growth process becomes self-sustained. The development of cotton textile industries in Britain during the 18th century provided necessary momentum for the development of other sectors of British economy. Okay. Second, supplementary growth sector. Rostow explained the supplementary growth sectors are those where rapid advance occurs in direct response to or as a consequence of advance in the primary growth sector. These sectors develop as a consequence of the development of primary growth sector. In this sector, those industries are included whose development supplements the growth initiated by primary sector. For example, in England, the development of cotton textile industries led to the development of coal, iron and engineering industries. These industries are regarded as supplementary growth sectors. Third, derived growth sector. Rostow opines that derived growth sector are those where advance occurs in some fairly steady relation to the growth of the total real income, population, industrial production or some other overall modestly increasing variable. Growth of population and industrial workers require increase in agricultural output, development of industrial colonies, expansion of transport and other social overhead capital. Agriculture, industrial housing, transport, etc. are included in derived growth sector. No single sector provides a key to rapid economic development, but the following conditions are necessary for economic development. First, there must be increase in effective demand of the products generally brought about by discarding, reducing consumption, importing capital or by sharp increase in real income. Second, sufficient capital must be introduced in the sectors for expansion of capacity for a non-production function. Third, there must be sufficient capital and investment profits for the take-up in these leading sectors. Fourth, the leading sector must introduce expansion of output in other sectors through technical transformation. Third, emergency of new political, social and institutional framework. In the non-economic terms, take-off requires the emergency of new political, social and institutional framework. The new framework would exploit the impulses to modernize the economy. The new framework would take the shape of political revolution, social reformation, technical innovation and institutional transformation. The essence of such changes is to mobilize capital either through domestic sources or foreign sources. Okay. So these are the take-off stage of Rostow'S economic growth. In next class, I will discuss about drive to maturity and age of high mass consumption. Thanks for watching.